Angry Bears Fan Podcast episode. I think we're on 117 now. I have to look. But coming off the heels of a big, big win for the Bears, beat the Cowboys 31 to
31.
14. Caleb had a great game, like almost just short of 300 yards passing, four touchdowns, obviously. Rome Odunze, another touchdown. Um, Loveland finally got involved a little bit. Burden got involved a little bit. Defense didn't look too half bad. I mean, CD Lamb getting hurt definitely helped us a lot. Um, but that's football. People get hurt. We got people hurt. Other people's teams are going to have hurt. That's how the cookie crumbles. So, um, yeah, we were out there. I mean, they lost CD, but we were out there without like our best two. I mean, two of our three best corners. Missing a lot. Our best linebacker. So, but it was a really fun game. Really got the energy back in Chicago. I think the monkey off of Ben Johnson's back, off of Caleb's back as well. And the Cowboys aren't that good, but they're all just a big win. I mean, the Cowboys are America's team, so it's good to beat them, get a game that a lot of people are tuned in watching.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, like you said, injuries are part of the sport. It was a good game. Dallas's defense was bad, but their offense is good. Like you were saying, the offense still, even without CD Lamb, you know what I'm saying? They're still a pretty good offensive ball club. Dak Prescott is still a top guy in terms of quarterback play.
10,
Uh,
I'd say top 10.
the one thing that concerned me throughout the game was just the run defense. Javonte Williams averaged 7.6 yards a carry. He had 10 carries for 76 yards. Granted, he did have a fumble. And Tyrique Stevenson really did step up in a big way. On Sunday against the Cowboys, he played probably one of the best games of his career. I feel like just kind of watching him, the energy that he brought, the 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 tenacity, just the way he played seemed a lot harder than normal. They played complementary football to the offense. Um, like I said, the only problem I really have is Javonte Williams getting the 10 carries for 76 yards. The run defense still continues to be a problem for the Bears this year as well as last year. And again, there really was no pass rush. I know we got to Dak a couple of times, but that was, with a blitz and stuff like that on third down, which
Yeah,
I didn't know this. Surprisingly, the Bears defense is second in the NFL in third down percentage.
no, I didn't. We just give up too many big plays.
30.3% in third down percentage. Now they're bad everywhere else, and a lot of that has to do with the game against Detroit. They're 22nd in red zone percentage. They're 26th against the run. They're 28th in points per game, like scoring defense, and they're 27th in passing. So those numbers got to come down. They should get better with Kyler Gordon coming back. Austin Booker will be eligible to play week 6. He's going to sit out this game, and then they got the coming
Bye
up
week.
against the Raiders. Then they got the bye week 5. And I know I texted this to you. Jalen Johnson was supposed to be out indefinitely. There was some good news on that front. He is getting some kind of surgery, and they feel hopeful that he can be back the second half of the season. So that's positive, I guess. These other guys need to step up, and the defense does need to get a lot better because uh, they got some tough games ahead.
Yeah.
Vegas doesn't look all that good. Vegas is no world beater, but their offensive line is absolutely atrocious. You know, Ashton Genty is getting hit behind the line of scrimmage on average every run that he has. But we'll talk about the Raiders game going up. We got positives and negatives from this week against the Cowboys, this game, week 3. Give me your positives and then give me your negatives.
Um, well, the long drives, we committed to the run game. I mean, it's still not looking how I want to look at. I think the positives are just Caleb and Ben Johnson seem to be getting in sync. He's getting more in tune with getting all the playmakers the ball. I know there's a lot of them, but DJ Moore got a couple rushes, threw some passes. Rome's clearly our wide receiver number one now, and he kind of looks apart. Still a couple drops here and there for him, but I mean, it takes time to transition in the number one guy in the NFL, coming from like the fifth option. Got Loveland a couple times, Komet as well. Like I said, my big positive is everybody got involved. O-line didn't look half bad. Cowboys have a pretty shitty defensive line. They got maulers in the middle, but nobody on the edge to worry about. Um, but yeah, I mean, I like what I saw from Caleb. He looked the part. Him and Ben Johnson looked the parts so that we want them to be playing to moving on in the future.
Yeah, my positives out of this game, Caleb Williams, no sacks. So offensive line gets a credit there. I know you were saying the defensive line, the edge rushers for the Cowboys, since they got rid of Micah, not that good, but they'd still have Kenny Clark. So the inside of that interior offensive line held up fairly well.
Yeah, and Kenny Clark
The
usually destroys us. I mean, we've been going against
Absolutely,
him for a
absolutely.
decade almost now.
It was nice to see Luther Burden get involved.
Yes.
That's another positive for me, over 100 yards receiving this game. Rome Odunze again continuing just his trend. Caleb is tied for first in the NFL in touchdown passes. Rome Odunze is tied for first in the NFL in touchdown receptions, and that's through 3 weeks. Positive is the Bears' offensive output. 31 points is a big deal. I think we average somewhere around 24, 27 points per game right now. We're kind of, our offense is starting to creep up there. Caleb Williams, again, 142.6 passer rating, 19 of 28 for 298 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks again. So, yeah, this was an outstanding game for him. And I think the conversation nationally needs to start being apologetic to, Caleb Williams, because everybody's sitting here saying that CJ Stroud, they should have took CJ Stroud instead of trading the number one overall pick, and blah 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 blah. They should have taken Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix and Michael Penix and all this other shit. Um, but when you look at it, I mean, since that big bro moment that CJ Stroud had with Caleb Williams last year, uh, passing yardage is about the same. The difference is that Caleb Williams has like 27 touchdowns compared to CJ Stroud's 19, and CJ Stroud has also thrown for 15 interceptions. Bo Nix, Bo Nix hasn't been playing world beating football, like, you know what I'm saying? He's kind of had a sophomore slump. Jaden Daniels has been hurt.
And
So
he didn't play that well, but I mean, they did go against
you know what I'm
Packers.
saying? So the national media, I don't know where the Caleb or why the Caleb hate, but I think everybody needs to pump their brakes a little bit on that conversation. But definitely the offense was a bright spot, and then I have to give credit where credit's due. I know I egged on him, I harped on him so much, saying that we should have cut him last year, and I still stand by it. You know what I'm saying? One good game doesn't make up for it. But Tyrique Stevenson played a hell of a ball game. And another guy I bagged on, Tremaine Edmonds, 15 tackles, 2 picks. I mean, one fell, kind of into his lap when,
Dak just
he,
threw it to him.
yeah, well, no,
No, not
when,
that one.
yeah, the tip ball
Yeah.
from George Pickens. But Tremaine Edmonds, man, 15 tackles. He was all over the football field on Sunday, railing into the tackles, railing into the football. So that was good to see. So those are my positives. Now let's go to your negatives.
Negative. I mean, there's still some inaccuracy stuff with Caleb where it's just like layups that like passes we got to make. I know we won by a lot and he had a really good game, but it's not going to be that easy against other teams. Like we can't. We need to score all the points we're going to score, get all the first downs we're going to get. Again, the pass rush again not there. Dak is a veteran. The Cowboys have a decent offensive line, probably better than decent, probably more on the side of above average. They invest in their line, a lot of first, second round guys. But the pass rush still isn't getting there. I know Booker's hurt. Grady Jerod missed a set, like some tackles. It's just Sweat finally got home. What is he? He's got like 6 sacks in 20 games as a Bear, I think, something like that. Um, so we gotta get some pressure from those guys. I don't. Hopefully, Austin Booker comes back healthy and he's some semblant. You know what I mean? He can come out there and give us some energy and get some pressure, but we need to get better pressure than that. But a lot of it's just injuries. I mean, and the off, I really don't have much to complain about the off. The run game, obviously, I don't. I think it's time to move on from Swift and him to just be our change of pace back. I think he is still a good football player, and there are things that he does well and does good, but he does not set the tone well for our team. Like
Yeah,
that's what I
I
don't like. Where it's like if you look up advanced metrics, and I don't get too much into it with offensive line stuff, but we like they're blocking good, and he's still getting a very low amount because he doesn't break the first tackle. He's not seeing the hole early enough to just get there before anybody touches him. And I mean, he's good in the screen game though. Every now and then he breaks one. I think there's still a place for him. He's good in pass pro. I just think that somebody else needs to be getting our first down, running a halfback dives in the A gap to somebody else because he can't handle that.
Yeah, Javonte Williams would have been really nice this year, and they signed him on a 1 year deal.
There's
Same
a
thing
lot
with
of guys.
same thing with Jordan
Chubb,
Mason.
Jordan
But
Mason.
I got more on that, a little bit later too, because as we're going on to week 4 now, we're about a quarter of the way, I'd say, almost a quarter of the way through the season, and there's already, trade speculation and everything else like that. While I'm not a big fan of Ryan Poles making a trade for anybody, there's a couple names that intrigue me, and I'll bring that up a little bit later here. My negatives. I was tweeting about this all fucking game when this happened, but Darnell Wright again with 2 penalties in the first half. Now that none of them were pre-snap penalties, but it seems like every time the Bears have a big play, there's a penalty on the field, and it's Darnell Wright who is just a drive killer. He didn't have any in the second half, so that's good. He kind of shortened it up a little bit, but um, 2 more penalties in the first half. It's just it's not acceptable.
Yes.
There has to be some accountability at some point moving forward if he's going to continue to do this. Now he did go out injured, and Theo Benedict did step in, the Canadian Eagle. He stepped in for the touchdown drive against or that Cole Kmet had just before half, and he played okay. He played well. There was no penalties. I'm really sick of the drive killing penalties from Darnell Wright. It seems to be a reoccurring theme. And if it's going to continue to happen, then Ben Johnson has to do what he said he was going to do, and that's start holding players accountable. And I understand he's a top 10 pick, but you cannot have that kind of liability on the field while you're trying to gain momentum for your
Yes.
team.
They're like you said, drive killers, and it's just like
They're big drive killers. That was a big one for me, and similar to yours as well. It's just the 3 yards per carry. I know we had a 19 play drive with 11, straight runs, but averaging 3 yards a carry is not going to cut it in this league, especially when your offense is built and predicated off of a play action pass offense. So the running game needs to get better. You hit it right on the head, though. I know we had talked about this ad nauseum with DeAndre Swift and just, falling when the wind blows. He doesn't get, I mean, he seems like he wants to run hard, but he just can't.
yeah, I don't know if it's
And,
like
and
a
this is a Ryan
block.
Poles thing. Ryan Poles let David Montgomery walk out the door. All these other guys that he could have brought in on 1 year deals and stuff like that. And you know what? Since we're on the topic of running back, I'll just go ahead and bring it up anyway. I know I said I'll bring it on a little bit later, but we'll address this, and then we'll move on to week 4 against the Raiders. So running back position, you and I both agree that it's an issue. You were looking into the advanced metrics, and I know it's been kind of all over social media as well as a lot of the reporters and stuff like that. Is that our offensive line in terms of run block ratio percentage wins, as well as the yards before contact, and we're top tier in terms of those at the offensive line position. We average like 2.6 yards per carry before contact. If we're only averaging 3 yards a carry and we're not getting hit until 2.6 yards, 2.5 yards after the line of scrimmage, there's a fucking problem there. And DeAndre Swift, like you said, he's too shifty. He doesn't run north and south. He tries to run east and west all the time. Manungai, I think Manungai is going to be a decent, serviceable backup back, but I don't think right now he's got the
Agreed.
vision. He doesn't have the vision, and he doesn't hit the hole quick enough. He's not, at the snap of the ball, he's not fast enough getting to the hole. So yeah, we need to bring somebody else in. I'm gonna. I don't know what it's gonna be like. In terms of who's gonna be, even out of the race in order to trade a running back. But what would you give up for Devon Achane?
I didn't even think Achan. I don't
That's the
know.
perfect Ben Johnson back. And the reason why I bring this up is because Miami's 0-3. Their season's over. Um, they're not going anywhere. They have a guy in Ollie Gordon that they seem to like, but I feel like Devon Achane is the perfect trade target for the Bears because Miami season is done. They're not going to be playing for anything. They're not catching Buffalo. They're a bottom of the tier AFC team right now. So I feel like if there is a running back out there to be had via trade, it's Devon Achane.
I guess a third. I don't know, a second if like there was no pass rushers or defensive linemen that become available. I'd rather see us get one of them. I know I am harping about the running back. I don't. I think it's more of a mentality thing and a coaching thing. I mean, obviously you need the talent in the field, but I mean, A-Chain's not doing super good there. They just give him the ball a ton and they scheme up a lot of stuff for him. I wonder what's going on with Roshan. I thought he seems such a bright spot.
He can't stay healthy.
Yeah, so, and this was supposed to be one of those deep running back classes, and we ended up with Monunga in the second. I think just feel like this is a polls issue. Each year he's
Well,
been kicked.
Manungai was a seventh rounder.
That's what I meant. That's what I'm saying. Like, well, I'm just
Yeah,
saying, like, we should have ended up with there was a lot of guys. We watched Scatterbo on Monday night. Well, there's guys who are getting quality touches in the league right now who are rookies that we could have had.
yeah, but the rookie class this year, besides Cam Scatterbo and what seems like Quinshon Judkins, the rest of this rookie running back class has
Hampton's
been
doing fine.
ass.
No, Hampton's been
Who?
doing good. Hampton.
Hampton's not been as advertised. Hampton has not been doing all that well. Ashton Genty, yeah, granted, he's got a horrible offensive line. He's been horrible this year so far. Caleb Johnson, the rookie for Pittsburgh, garbage. Like this deep running back class, the only two running backs, a fifth rounder and a second rounder, are the only two running backs that have really done anything of substance this year so far.
Yeah.
I'm
Listen,
not
I don't.
excusing Ryan Poles. I'm
No,
just
I
saying
mean,
that
yeah, I mean,
that is
but you
against.
never know. You got to say they're on our team. They might be doing better. They're on those guys are in these situations. I don't know. Scatterbo looks pretty good. Um, there's guys who we've seen get on the field
And
getting hurt.
Trayvon Henderson just can't get the fucking football in New England, even though the two running backs ahead of him seem to have fucking fumbleitis. Like, how many times do you have to fumble the ball before you give the fucking running back, your rookie running back, who you drafted in the second round? See, and you and I went back and forth on this. Let me ask you a question. This is non-Bears related. Do you see any difference between the Patriots under Mike Vrabel this year and the Patriots under Jerod Mayo last year? Because I don't.
What I will say is no, but same could have been said about the Bears. These first, I know we just won, but we won some decent, get some fun games. Or Justin threw for 4 touchdown passes under Eberflus too. So I don't know yet. I think Vrabel's a better. I mean, Vrabel's just got a history of being a better coach. I mean, the Patriots just don't have that good of a team, though. I don't. I said we've been on here. I don't understand why they fired Mayo. Like they didn't give him enough time. I understand Vrabel's him, but I just think they're two birds of the same. You know, what I mean, two wings of the same bird. Like I don't know. I don't. I heard. I thought I heard something like that, but I don't see a difference. But I haven't seen a huge difference in the Bears either. To be fair, right? Just penalties, fucking shitty defense, fucking outside of this game, really inconsistent offense. Like that's what we've been doing with Eberflus even before him. So, but I mean, yeah, we're seeing some semblance of changes because we see the everyday workings of the Bears, and we're you know what I mean. People are talking to them every day, so I don't know what's on the pads from the locker room side, but. I mean, they gave the Steelers a good game. They lost by a touchdown. I mean, shout out. I needed that money, uh, but they played a good game. The Steelers are, I would say, a playoff team. I mean,
Drake May just looks so lost this year, man, and
yeah.
it confuses me. And Bo Nix the same way. I mean, I don't know. Maybe these, I don't know what's going on. But everybody owes Caleb Williams an apology. National media, especially Chris
I
Canty.
think let's give them like 5 more games, like halfway through the season. I mean, I'll be
Not
the
even
first.
then. Not even his stats aren't even that bad.
No, I'm not saying they're
Like
bad. I'm just saying like consistent to be. And
he's absolutely got to be more
I mean, in
consistent.
a
There's
lot
no
of
doubt.
the hype, it's not like Caleb was Mr. Trubisky. He was the Heisman winning generational quarterback prospect. His, you know, I mean, fairly or unfairly, his expectations were always going to be high from everyone. I'm assuming, I mean, honestly, if you ask Caleb what, you know what I mean, if he thought he was good last year, I'm sure he would have said he was dog, you know what I mean, being honest, that he played like shit and that wasn't what he expected, even though he was mediocre to me, in my opinion. But I think anybody, even Caleb's dad, everybody would have told you that they thought he would have played better than that.
I would agree.
But I do think a lot of people are going to have to say sorry though, because they were making it about other things other than football, and me too at some point. Not so much this season, but before we got them. Um, but we want to win. I mean, that's part of being football, being quarterback of Chicago Bears or New York Giants or the Dallas Cowboys. You know, people are gonna fuck with you. And you know, throw
What it
being a
must
Heisman
be.
to be the Heisman also, like number one overall quarterback 4 years before you were drafted, they were talking about you. So I mean, that's just life. Like, I mean, so I don't.
What what it must be right now to be a fucking New York fan, either the Giants or the Jets.
Yeah,
The Jets are a fun team to watch, though. I
I
watched the
guess,
other night.
yeah. Even with inconsistent Justin, they got a fun defense,
That
and
was
Just we saw for a whole year, even if he can't throw, it's still fun to watch him run around and do shit. And the guys play, and the guys seem to play hard for him. So we'll see. The Giants, Scatterbo looked good. I'm like, I said I thought we should have got him. I like the kid's energy. Like I said about what I don't like about Swift is he doesn't set the tone,
yeah,
and
he's a tough runner, man.
you can
He's
do that. You can do that on a 1 yard loss. You can do that on a 3 yard gain. I just think like Swift, for whatever reason, his spidey senses to kick in, and he doesn't want to hit the hole and get 7 yards and run somebody over in the process. He's
he
trying to,
avoids
yes,
contacts.
he's trying to score a touchdown, and yeah, that works sometimes. But we need a tone setter. We need to get in front of the sticks to give Caleb easy throws because we got a lot of talent. Luther Burden is really good. I think Luther Burden reminds me a lot of DJ Moore, and as I know DJ Moore has been getting a lot of flack, you know, about his attitude and stuff like that. But DJ Moore has been a great receiver in the NFL, multiple thousand-yard receivers with some of the worst quarterbacks you could imagine. And I'd see a lot of what he does with Luther Burden. I'm big on Colston Loveland. Again, I wasn't a fan of the pick. I'm still not unless he ends up catching 70, 60 balls and 8 touchdowns. I'm not going to be a fan of it just because we're not in the position to be drafting a second tight end. You know, I mean, and, you know,
When
not
there's
just
more pressing holes on the
yes,
roster.
like I said about Roman. Rome has this year rolled over. We got rid of Keenan, and he rolled right into his place, and it worked out. But it's like I don't like wasting first round picks on for next year. Like that's basically what I don't like doing. That's what happened with Rome. He had a decent rookie year, but reality Keenan Allen was our one, DJ Moore, you know, I mean 1A and 1B, and then Komet, and then Swift's got to get his touches, and it's like then Rome's getting into it. And that's what it feels like with Loveland, and I don't want that to happen. We got a lot of talent. Ben Johnson's good at getting everybody the ball. You see, even his old new OC over, they're still doing the same thing, getting everybody the ball. It's hard to guard them when everybody's getting touches, everybody, the energy's up. But it was a really fun game to watch. The flea flicker, Luther Burden running around, just DJ Moore in the backfield, just Ben getting creative. I know, like, I'm glad he got the monkey off his back. Very winnable game coming up, and we can transfer over to talking about the Raiders. Very winnable game. They look like shit. They have no offensive line. Gentry's not a huge threat. Doesn't look like it. Obviously, the kid's got talent, but they don't have really good wide receivers. Their defense,
They
they got
got serviceable.
yeah,
Jacoby Myers is pretty
he's
good.
good. I mean, he's
Um,
worse. I would say he's worse than George Pickens. So it's like he we're gonna have worse wide receivers than we just went up against. Bowers is he's hurt. He's playing, but he's hurt. They say he's on one leg.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but their defense is pretty mid. They got Max Crosby, but besides that, nothing crazy. So I think this is a game that we can't have a hangover and be. We've seen this a lot with our Bears that we have a really good game, and the next game we come out with our heads up high and our chest puffed out, and we come out flat and play like shit. And I don't want to see that. I want to build out this last game, go into the bye week 2-2 with a lot of energy, with two big wins. I mean, the Cowboys are mid and the Raiders are the Raiders, but it'll be a big win over America's team, and then a big win in Vegas. You know what I mean? Going to Vegas, there'll be a lot of Bears fans there. Last time they played, I remember them saying it was like 60-40 Bears fans. I'm assuming it's going to be something just like that this year. Um, and yeah, we need that energy going into the bye.
Yeah, I mean, so week four, obviously on the road. The one thing that I did have to say about that is that hopefully it turns out to be a lot more energetic and they play a lot harder than they did the last time they were on the road, which was against Detroit. So I want to see if those communication issues are fixed. Are they fixed? Are we going to have any more pre-snap penalties? Are we going to be getting the plays called into the huddle in a timely fashion? Are we going to be able to get up to the line and make adjustments? So that's one thing that I will be looking at, only because again, this is another road test. It's another road game, and you don't want to have that hangover, like you said. Um, all those things are going to be, keys to winning this game. Is the running game going to step up against a mid, um, defense in the Raiders? So I know they're averaging their run defense averages like 114 yards given up. I mean, and that's not horrible. But at the same time, it's kind of middle of the pack. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get that run game going. They're 24th against the pass, so they're like 237 yards a game is what the stats that I have in front of me. 24th in total defense. So they're bottom tier of the league in terms of defense. I know our
Yeah,
defense is the same. So we kind of we have to be able to outscore them, and we should be able to outscore them. Um, the Raiders on offense only average 17 points. 17.6 yards per game is what they average on offense.
oh yeah, we
So we have to be able to keep them within that framework. The offensive line, as I spoke about and that you have spoken about, is just bad. It's really, 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 really bad. Um, I'm hoping the pass rush can get to him a little bit, hopefully without blitzing. Um, because the more you get to the quarterback with the least amount of blitzing, it's just better overall. I'm
yeah.
looking for a repeat performance from Tyrique Stevenson. I'm hoping he could step up. I'm hoping Kyler Gordon comes back healthy and he could play in this game, because uh, that'll be a big boost to the defensive unit as well. I don't know what's going on with TJ Edwards yet. I haven't heard anything specific about him, but week 4 Raiders 325 game on CBS. Like you said, go hopefully win this game, get to 2-2 going into the bye. That would be huge, because coming out of the bye, we got Washington. And that's seeming like a somewhat winnable game. It's going to be a very tough test. It's another road game.
A lot of
And then you
pressure.
got, yeah, a lot of pressure. Then you got Baltimore, Cincinnati. I mean, you have an opportunity if you get to 2-2 going into the bye, which I know a lot of us kind of had them at 2-2 anyway going into the bye. But you have an opportunity to run off possibly and I think they play Cincinnati before they play Baltimore. So you have an opportunity to go on 4 straight wins, winning this game, going the bye, getting rested up, going into Washington, making a statement there, and then playing at Cincinnati and then at Baltimore. I didn't realize how many road games we had in a row. That's 4 straight road games. You have an opportunity to win 4 straight games, 3 straight on the road, going into Baltimore, and then you're at what, 4-2. You take that L, you're at 4-3, and then you got the Saints on the other side of that. Start building some momentum. This game, I know we talked about, you couldn't go 0-3. You had to win the game against Dallas. It became one of those. It became as close to a must-win as you possibly could. They had to
Yeah.
have that game, and they did. So let's back it up. Let's go into Vegas, and let's do a repeat, man.
Yeah.
Let's get the win.
What
I'm
good
looking
teams do, they win the games they're supposed to win. I mean, every now and then
absolutely.
you have a downer, but that's a sign that you're turning into a good team, that you go into games against the Raiders when you know you should win on the road and you get the win. And you know what I mean? You don't make it look too hard in the process.
I got some week 3 overreaction factor cap if you're ready for that.
Let's go.
All right. So factor cap week 3 overreaction edition. Carson Wentz is the best option for Minnesota right now.
Um, I guess right now it's a fact. I mean, I like JJ a lot, and I'm not gonna be down on him after one season. But I mean, Carson Wentz got a lot of experience. Um, JJ does not. I mean, he played in 2 games, and you saw it when he was out there. The Bears were that dog shit in the fourth quarter, and made him look good. I mean, he's got a lot of talent, but yeah, I'm sure Carson Wentz right now is a better option. I don't know if that's the option that's going to get them to the playoffs though, but I'm sure he's going to put up better passing numbers than JJ McCarthy would.
That offense just looked a lot smoother with Carson Wentz running it. I know JJ's young. He might have to take the route of, a Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers. He may
Yeah,
have to sit a little bit
yeah,
longer than a year. I just think that right now Kevin O'Connell is the quarterback god.
No, I mean,
Um,
just sometimes these vets are good. They're talented. I mean, Wentz was a high draft pick. Marcus Mariota looked really good too. Nobody's
I
talking
get
about.
that. I understand that, but Kevin O'Connell's track record so far right now with taking guys like Carson Wentz, Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was on Minnesota's fucking practice squad, and Kevin O'Connell worked with him a whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? He just seems to really get and understand how
Right,
to
he
get
just
the
calls a good
best out of
game.
these
Yeah,
guys. So I do think that for this year, probably just to let's get JJ a little bit more seasoning. He didn't really throw the ball a whole lot in high school or in college. So he's got to I agree that he's got all the talent in the world. I think he's a natural born leader, and those are the kinds of guys that teams kind of rally around.
yeah. That's what
But
I
for
was
right
saying. I
now,
do think, yeah, like
Carson Wentz definitely, in my opinion. Another NFC North related question: Jordan Love will ultimately be the Green Bay's downfall.
I don't know if downfall's a good word because I think he's, I mean, a little bit better than average. I do think he'll be there, like stop, like why they don't. I don't know a better word than downfall. I don't think he's gonna ruin them. I just think he's gonna be the reason they don't win, but in a not in a bad way. Just like he's not that talented. I think the team's got to play a really good game. Coach got to play call a really good game. But Jordan Love's not going to go over there, put on his cape, go out there, put on his cape and win any games for you like Aaron Rodgers did or Brett Favre did, or doesn't seem like he rallies the troops like either of them did either. So I think Matt LaFleur falls into kind of what you were saying about Kevin O'Connell. There's been times we saw Malik Willis out there and we're like, holy shit, if he could have did this in the Titans, he'd still be on the fucking Titans. So I think it's a little mix of that, but I don't know if, like I said, I'm trying to think of a better word. I don't know if down. I don't think downfall because I don't think the Packers are Packers. We've seen them. Have they ever really had a downfall? A downfall for them is like missing the playoffs by one game. Like that's like their worst possible outcome to their season being like 500. So, but I do think he is. Why they won't read their peak is his how good he is, and he's not a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
They hitch their wagon to him, and he's not one of those guys. Like, so you got to build a super team around him,
yeah,
and they're trying.
he's not Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre.
No,
You
I mean, I think he's better
man,
than Jalen Hurts.
he's talented. He's good. He makes some really dumb decisions sometimes, and those are cripplers. And it's gonna be one of those. Yeah, he's gonna throw a heartbreaking pick at the wrong time,
Yeah, oh, definitely.
and that's gonna be that. Last NFC North one. Um, we may have written off Detroit a little too soon.
I would agree. I think that's fact. I think, and that's not just us. I think it was everybody. I think everybody thought it was Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. And I will say, I didn't write the Bears. I did write the lines off, but I did always say that. Was it Ben Johnson or was it Dan Campbell? Like fucking uh giving him the freedom to do that, giving you know what I mean to go fourth down and to back all their plays and to, you know what I mean, give them the confidence to be. I don't know, just the Lions' energy is great. Another Michigan guy, Aiden Hutchinson, that kid is a freak. I was just talking to a kid who's a Jacksonville fan yesterday. I was like, I still to this day don't understand how they picked Trayvon Walker over him. He's amazing. And what we're talking about with energy, the energy he brings, like in a big game, on a big play, you could bet $1 million Aiden Hutchinson is going to beat the guy in front of him. When the game's on the line and you need a stop, Aiden Hutchinson beats the guy in front of him. Like, and that's I don't know. I'm so jealous that he's on the fucking Lions and not on the Bears. That we've had so many bad seasons and we couldn't end up with a player like that because when I watched that game, and again, I'm a huge fan of Aiden Hutchinson, but it's like man, the Dan Campbell's a great coach, and they've got some guys, they've got some players who,
They got
you know, what I
some
mean,
dogs, man.
yeah, and not like
Campbell,
super
Ryan,
talented guys. They're great players, but like St. Brown, I mean, he's no fucking 6'6", he doesn't run a 4.3. He's just a really good fucking football player. Um, Jared Goff been written off, but you know, what I mean, even me, every 4 or 5 games it changes, but you know, what I mean, he can play. Like Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl very young, high draft pick. Fucking Rams got rid of him for Matt Stafford. You know what I mean? Kind of threw him like, oh, you know what I mean? They gave him and multiple first round picks for Matt Stafford. And it kind of panned out for them. Obviously, Matt Stafford historically has been better than him, but like he's a dog. Gibbs is a dog. I mean, we're watching fucking David Montgomery run all over the place for the last fucking 3 years. He could have been on our team. Um, like I don't know. I'm very jealous. They got a good GM, a good coach, and they've completely turned their franchise around in a very short amount of time. And that's why I don't have the patience with polls. I'm like, I understand it's not easy, but it's like we're looking around the league. You pick the right GM, you pick the right coach. It don't take too much longer. Right
Yeah,
move, right here,
Detroit.
there, and it's you're bam, you're good.
Detroit had a statement game, in my opinion, last night. Beating
Yes.
Baltimore on the road. That was a very impressive win. And it wasn't just so like everything about that game screamed Dan Campbell and
Right.
just the grittiness, the grinding. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys will die for that man,
Yes.
and that's just an absolute fantastic thing to see on a football team. All right. Number four, the Chargers are the best of the unbeatens. The unbeatens include the Bills, Colts, Chargers, Eagles, Niners, and Bucks.
No, I mean I won't say they're better than the Eagles. They're the champs, even though the Eagles do seem to have a lot of holes, but they're up there. I like the Chargers a lot. I was watching something. They were making an argument that Harbaugh's got like the case to be like one of the best, like the best football coach. I mean, you combine resumes both sides as there is. He hires a great staff. I mean, Herbert is good, and I think this year they're kind of taking the reins off. Last year they were kind of working themselves into the Harbaugh offense and running the ball, playing good defense, getting their grittiness back. But this year I think they're taking the chains off of Justin. I mean, they got Keenan Allen back, who's again I was banging on the table all offseason. I did not understand why the Bears didn't sign him. But they look good, and it'd be tough to beat them. I think, but I don't think they're the best team. It's hard to say they're better than the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles have not looked invincible, but they're the reigning Super Bowl champions, and they just had a hell of a win. I mean, we haven't talked about it yet, but was there 6 blocked field goals last
Yeah.
or on Sunday? I mean, Jordan Davis blocks a field goal to win and returns it to win the game. He was running like a fucking 4 or 5 down like what is he 330 pounds like
330 pounds, ran like a 4.6.
yeah, like that guy's a freak. So that's the type of stuff that winning teams do. So when you see the Super Bowl champions winning games like that, it reminds you that like that's why they're the best team in the league when they need to will it up. And it wasn't just that play; they were losing by 2 scores in the fourth quarter. You know, they willed that. You know, they can summon up their powers. That's what everybody complained about the Chiefs sometimes. Sometimes when you do that all the time, it seems like you got the refs in your pocket, but it's just they say this about basketball teams. Like you know, what I mean, they turn on playoff mode. You know, and then they go into it. And I think the Eagles do that. The Chiefs, I mean, they used to be able to do it, not so much anymore, but I don't know if the Chargers have gotten there yet. Herbert's got a history of choking in the playoffs, and until I see him win a big game, then I can't say they're one of the best. You know, what I mean, the best. But it's going to be interesting. They're going to win that division. I think
Yeah,
the 3 games they have already, and the one they like the Chiefs won't have a tiebreaker over them. I don't imagine they lose the division, but that doesn't mean that you know when they play Kansas City in the playoffs, they're going to be the favorite.
I have them as of right now. I have them third behind Phil. Buffalo number one, Philadelphia number two, LA number three. Final one, the Saints will finish 0 and 17.
But look at their schedule. See if I see any winners. I mean, it's hard. I can't think who I would say that is worse than them.
They're
I don't
horrible.
know. They play here. I mean, they've got the Bills. They got the Giants, who aren't. They're going to have rookie quarterbacks. So who knows? I would say it's a coin flip game, even though they're bad. Patriots, coin flip game. Bears are not beating us. Bucks not going to beat the Bucks. Not going to beat the Rams. Panthers, winnable game. They play them twice too. So
The Panthers just beat Atlanta 30
I
to
know,
nothing.
but they lost the week before. I'm just saying that's a winnable game. It's the NFL, should happen. But
Yeah, yeah.
okay, then they play the Falcons twice, and the Falcons just lost the
I'm
Panthers.
just saying,
I
they
don't
have a
think they're going to go 0-16.
there's a chance.
They play the
There's
Jets.
a chance.
They play the Titans, Jets. I mean, there's a chance, but I mean, the Titans look like shit too.
They
Um,
are so bad.
yes,
Tennessee's really bad too. I
they
mean,
drafted poorly. I mean, I like it's
it's
no
like
offense. I don't
it's
think
like
Cam Ward is bad. They have no wide receivers. They have no running backs. They have no
it's like
tight ends.
1 and 1A in terms of how bad the Saints and the
They play the
Titans.
Dolphins too. They play all the worst teams, so they're going to like accidentally get a win. They're probably going to win a game and be upset about it. But who are even the quarterbacks coming out this year? It's like,
Well, they don't. You talk about the Saints?
Yeah,
Oh man, I don't even know the
there's supposed to
quarterback.
be some good ones, but who knows?
But yeah, that was my last one. It's a possibility. I find it impossible in today's NFL to not win a single game. I
Yeah,
mean, you
that's what
have
I'm
to
saying.
really,
Especially
really,
like
really try,
sometimes you
but
got a tough schedule, you're in a tough division, and you
they
got
are
some injuries.
so bad.
Yeah, but they play like the other teams that you would consider like the bottom five. So I'm assuming they'll get one. But all right, that's it. Big win. Got the like I said, the Bears injected some energy back into the fan base. We're very optimistic going into this game. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we will see you guys after we beat up on the Raiders. Adios.
Adios.